Well, the other day I did 9 rows. You can hardly distinguish them now. A little storm and a little wind blew some of the leaves between the rows over it, but I know where they are. You can see them on the angle. And since it's going to rain today, and it rained a lot last Friday, and the ground down here is a clay sink, because right here, for those who haven't watched my earlier videos, it's 1 inch of topsoil and 4 to 21 feet of clay. Marbleized clay, the worst thing you could have. For the last 10-11 years, we have been improving this soil to where we have 10 inches of soil. But right here on this edge, it's still 1 inch of topsoil. So when it rains a lot, this water goes down to below our man-made soil and sits on clay. So it's a giant sink, a giant tub. And the only way for this water to get out of here is through evaporation, or plants using it up. So anyway, I've run the thing down through here, 2 passes. Still got some weeds in it. I've put lime down and fertilizer down. And I just sprinkle it out of a can as I walk along. And then I will run this plow down through here a couple more times. Get out of the shadow. And it'll all be turned in. And then I'm going to try to do some weeding on those onions. But I had to come down here because if it rained again on it and I couldn't plow, and if it rained every 2 or 3 days, I wouldn't be able to use this soil. But now that I've opened it up and I've fertilized it and I've gotten the leaves in the soil instead of on top of it, the sun will come out and dry it out. And there are my tomato plants patiently waiting to be put into the soil. If you've had one of these 32-gallon trash cans, you know how tall they are. If I walk over to it, it's about just above waist high on me, and I'm 5'11". Now those are laying over. They're probably sweet millions. They have a little thinner stems than the others. Well, they've all been run through again. I ran through these first. There's 8. There's actually a 9th one next to this that I had plowed. But since I put so much leaves in there, it bowed out. And I'm going to put all this on this garden after I get it planted. And if there's any left, I'm going to put it on that compost pile. And then I'm going to take this fence down. And then I'm going to have a row here, and a row here, and a row here. Then my onions will be up, and I'll have another row, 2 rows over there. And that'll make it a little over 1,600 square feet. Now, last year, I planted my tomatoes next to that fence, and in this row, and in this row. Also, we write this down every year, but since I'm doing all these videos, I can just look at a video and see where. And I had some Rutger and Roma tomatoes in this row. And you do not want to plant tomatoes in the same row that you planted them in last year, or the same big old pot of soil. If you do, you'll have problems over time, especially with nematodes, by rotating the crops. And you need to find out what things are in each family, because you can't plant tomatoes where you had potatoes. You can't plant potatoes where you had tomatoes the previous year. So you need to be sort of aware of what you're planting and what was there last year. And so this year, I'm going to plant my tomatoes in this row, and this row, and this row. And see, 2 years ago I had them over there. And last year I had them over there, and this year I got them over here. 3 years is basically what you're looking for. You can get away with skipping a year, but if you do it if you rotate it and have the space to do it every 3rd year, you have less likelihood of developing nematodes.